Hello, everyone. It's MCU Crew time. We might talk about Batman as well today. It's the.
I love Glasses Bronze. Whoa, what are we doing here? Glasses Bronze is great.
What?
I like this. I like Glasses Bronze. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Are you?
Oh, yeah.
Man, we got a hype start to the show here. Glasses Bronze and loud ass music that you guys didn't hear, but the audience sure did. Yeah.
Well,
I was like, I didn't hear any music.
It was very
No
loud.
music.
It was very loud. We also might talk about Batman, the extended universe of the MCU Crew.
Extended.
I think Jesse Cox was the only one to see it, though. Bronze, you didn't go see the Bats, right? The old baddie?
No, I couldn't.
didn't either.
I had to like
Neither of you
get
saw it?
COVID test all this week. Yeah, I wasn't like allowed to.
Yeah, I'm
The
just
project
lazy.
I was working on, they were like, there's things you need to do and things you'd like to do. For the
Yeah.
sake of everyone's safety, like stick to things you need to do this week. So I was like, okay, so I'm gonna see it Wednesday now that I can be irresponsible again.
There you go. I'm going to wait
It
till
was
it comes
very
out on HBO because I'm
you're
lazy.
missing out.
Am I?
You are lazy. It's very good. It's a visual treat.
I
I'm
don't
gonna
think
talk
I've
about the
ever
story.
heard you say anything as a visual treat before.
It really is. I don't know what the hell they got going on over there, but this is the first like DC movie where they took time with a shot. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like there were a few shots like that in Aquaman.
Of what? Zoe Kravitz's ass? Like what do
Here's
you
the
mean a
thing.
visual treat?
I mean, look, not incorrect. First off, that woman is
Knew it.
I mean, it's
gorgeous,
Catwoman.
like
Fucking knew
grossly,
it.
like
I fucking knew it.
unfairly gorgeous. Like just
Isn't
like
that the whole movie,
while
though?
you're-
Isn't it just like slow shots of pretty people
well
dressed up as
yeah,
comic
like,
book characters?
but at the same
Yeah,
time,
people way more attractive than us being into each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on.
but at the same time, it is exactly like it's you know, there's so many damn Batman movies that have been made,
There are.
and for some reason, they finally got to one where they were like, let's do Detective Batman, and that's exactly what it is. It's 3 hours of Batman solving a crime, and I was like, it's so good. It's so good. I love a good mystery, and I love a good Batman, and they would like, whoop. Huge fan.
Okay.
Huge fan.
All right. Who plays Alfred in this one? That's the question.
Andy Serkis.
Oh, Andy Serkis, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Plays like ex Special Ops Alfred.
Did they
Mhm.
they CG him? Is he in like a CG suit and they CG'd him to be an old guy? Is that what's going on?
It's so crazy. Yeah, it was him CG'd as himself.
Wow.
It was a
It's-
weird
the
waste of money,
technology's
but like,
getting insane.
yeah. It was strange, but you know,
Yeah.
it did look like him.
Is
It's
this
that Luke technology. Yeah.
is this the first movie where he hasn't been CG'd that's like on a big scale?
No.
What else was he
And
in?
he's
Black Panther. Black Panther.
He was in Black
oh,
Panther.
that's right. Duh.
He's been in a ton
Brain
of
fart.
stuff. Yeah, I'm trying to think of the last thing I saw him in too, where he was just himself. It's always jarring when he's just himself too.
It is.
'Cause
Yeah.
I always think
But
back
he's
to like
so good though.
He is.
he's a very good actor.
He has like
but I always think back to him in
great
that
screen
suit.
presence.
Yeah. It's very good. Well,
He has great screen presence. I love that man.
Also,
have
shout
to
out
go see
to
that.
you know what?
maybe.
Paul Dano always looks and feels like Paul Dano constantly. But in this movie, for some reason, they made Paul Dano more Paul Dano. And
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it, but I was like, this guy is great. Like, this dude can act. Oh, yeah. The whole thing was
Paul was
lovely.
he was Paul Dano in Mad Men? Or I think I've always thought he was in Mad Men.
I don't think so.
I mean, I'm there's a person that looks very similar to Paul Dano. I don't think I've ever seen Paul Dano in anything before.
You definitely have. He's literally every time there's a character where you're like, that guy is both totally weird and totally punchable. Paul Dano was the guy.
Dude.
Every time.
Honestly,
Every time.
I'm looking at his films. I definitely saw Looper. I don't remember Paul Dano being in that. I definitely remember The Girl Next Door.
Yep.
And I kind of remember Paul Dano in that. Everything else I've never seen. He's been in a lot of films though. Geez.
Yeah. Like what's fascinating about this movie is that they use actors in both exactly the way you expect and exactly the way you don't.
Mm.
Right? Like, it's fascinating the way that they choose to use different actors in this film. And they do it like everything about this. It isn't God, I'm trying to think of the nicest word. Like, you know, sometimes Batman can be like overtly like over the top sometimes. There's a lot of subtle stuff in this movie.
No.
I know. Crazy. The most dramatic character in this entire movie, even Paul Dano as the Riddler wasn't like over the top. It was like pretty scary character.
Huh.
But the Penguin, Colin Farrell, first off nailed it, but also the only character who was like, I'm going to shoot for an 11. I'm going to just take everything to 11 and get crazy. And it worked. Somehow, him alone being the only character that was like, I'm going to crank it up to 11. Like, I can't wait. I can't wait to see where this entire franchise goes. It's the first time I was like, if they keep making Batman movies like this, I'll be very excited.
All right.
I don't know. Yeah.
Glowing review from the Cox Man.
Very good. It was a great movie.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. We'll see. Erin was, we were both like, hey, you want to go see a Batman on Saturday? And then she looked at it and was like, it's 3 hours long. And I was like, yeah, I really don't want to go out. Do you want to just watch?
It's clipping. It goes fast, dude.
Do you want to watch Free Guy instead? We're like, yeah, let's watch Free Guy. So then we watched Free Guy. Free Guy's a weird movie. But I wouldn't say bad. If you have Disney Plus, maybe check it out. That's my review. Anyways, Bronze, you said you're going to check out the Bats on Wednesday when you get back home?
Yes, I have no expectation.
Okay.
We'll see how that ends up.
Great. Sounds good. Maybe we'll talk about it next week then. I don't think we'll do like a full MCU crew on it, but we'll at least give some opinions. A little bit of news. Basically everything's shooting right now. We've got Paul Rudd. They're doing Ant Man and the Wasp Quantumania. They're shooting for that. That's out there. Paul Rudd's looking like Paul Rudd. What else do we have? I guess the big news of the week is that Disney Plus will be getting the Netflix shows on March 16th.
Also, Disney Plus apparently got Legion.
Wait, really?
While I was like, all right, so I gotta go to Hulu to look at this.
Did you watch it on?
I saw a thing that was like, hey, it's coming to Disney Plus, or it's already on Disney Plus. I don't know.
Wild. I didn't know that. Yeah, I've been watching on Hulu. Is it's already on there, or is it coming soon?
Great question. Let me see what's going on Disney Plus right now.
Oh, yes. A ton of people are saying in chat they watched it on Disney Plus.
Yeah, that's great because Hulu, if I have to sit through another damn commercial, I'm going to lose my mind. The whole point of me paying you is so I don't have to sit through commercials, Hulu.
Yeah.
Hulu, by the way, Hulu sucks.
Hulu
sucks. Right. I said it.
It's not the greatest, but it's okay.
I think I get Hulu free bundled with something else.
You probably do. But sounds
like,
you probably get it bundled with Disney Plus, if anything, because it's all Disney.
Oh, maybe that's what. Also, my Hulu doesn't have commercials.
Mine doesn't either.
Yeah, how does yours have commercials?
Jesse's on that free Hulu.
If you pay them, I was gonna say you can't say you're paying them and then have commercials. Because if you pay,
I'm
but then why do you have commercials?
Great life question. I probably didn't pay for like the super version because I didn't know there was a super version. I have no clue. But I'm letting you know I'm definitely paying them.
Well, not enough, apparently. If you're
here's the thing. I don't see Legion on Disney Plus yet. At least on my end.
Well, maybe it's just a regional thing then. Maybe everyone that says they watch are Brits or something like that.
Maybe, yeah.
Or maybe they're liars.
They could be
Maybe
liars.
it's not real because, frankly, after that show, I don't know what is real anymore.
We'll
Wait,
get to it.
Did you not like it?
No, we'll get to it. Oh,
no.
Okay.
You're breaking the thing. I read a thing regarding all of the Netflix shows going to Disney Plus, and they basically said Disney should just continue exactly where those shows left off. And I thought about it. Colleen Wing would be the Iron Fist. I'm kind of for it. That'd be kind of great.
Why is that the one? Like,
they could
I just want Colleen to. You just like Colleen.
I
would
just
love
want
more
Colleen.
Show.
She's great. Jessica Henwick's fantastic. They could also do more Daredevil exactly where they left off. It's great. Punisher ended with him just murdering people in a building. It's great. They could just do that. Like all these characters could just. I don't know about Jessica Jones and Luke Cage because frankly, I never finished Jessica Jones and Luke Cage. But I'd be okay with them continuing at least those 3 shows exactly where they left off. Jessica Jones and Luke Cage, sure. Whatever. But everything else, that'd be great. I think Iron Fist, Colleen Wing would be great. Even if you didn't watch season 2, Bronze, you don't need to watch season 2 to understand that. Just know that Colleen gets the Iron Fist, and that's how that show ends.
And Danny Rand shoots chi bullets out of his hands. We are not canonizing that. Not in my MCU.
Well, maybe we
Hotel
don't.
Bronze activate.
Maybe we
No.
don't follow him around.
I don't want him to exist. Not in my hashtag started chat, hashtag not in my MCU. This man with his asshole demeanor and shitty fucking face and let me explain to you what kung fu and tai chi is. No. If he's in my MCU, I riot. We cannot canonize him. And if we pick up where these shows left off, that means he'll be canon, and I can't handle that. I can't handle it. I won't. I refuse. I categorically refuse.
What if it was like all a dream that Colleen had? What if they Dallas her?
I accept that.
Okay.
I will accept that.
Okay. Maybe so. Jesse, can you accept that? What if Ward never existed?
No, I can't. I can't accept that. No,
Okay,
no.
Jesse's
I had
out.
to sit through 2 seasons of that. You can't just rewrite history. If I have to suffer, you got to suffer too. It's
We
part
got to
of me.
nuke it from orbit. It's the only way to be sure. Do you really want
Glass the
here's
whole
my
thing.
question. Yeah, glass the whole fucking thing.
What if
Here's
Danny
the-
Rand is just Mephisto?
You wanna- No, wait. Do you want this is a serious question,
Okay.
both of you,
Okay.
and to the chat.
Okay.
Do you want an MCU where Luke Cage hit that horrible, stiff ass dab with his whole life? Do you want that in your canon?
Wait, Luke Cage dabs? Hold on. I gotta.
Yeah, look it up. I turned the TV off. I never turned it back on. You want that in your MCU? When he makes that face like he just got kicked in the balls and dabs.
Oh,
in
he
the,
he definitely
somebody's
does dab.
grandfather dab. You want that in your MCU?
Hey, make me look up
Hashtag
Luke
not in my
Cage
MCU.
dab.
Wait, what? Hold on. Why did he dab?
These are all valid questions.
Here's the
All
dab.
react-
is this
Here's the dab right
the
here.
dab? So the dab, if I recall,
It looks like he's headbutting his fucking elbow.
if I recall, this was maybe the beginning of season 2, maybe
It is
where
season
he gets
2.
caught on film, and these guys are like, "Oh damn, that guy got shot a bunch," and he's like, "Yeah, put it on YouTube, dab." I think that's what that is. Either way,
Look, at the time, I mean, I would say that was a really cool thing to do, and it really
Are you? No.
it
no,
really
no, no,
tested
no.
well with the kids, Bronze. So
No, even when dabbing was cool, that dab, fucking, what is he doing? That's not a fucking dab. No,
he's
even
he's
when
dabbing
dabbing was
with
cool,
he's dabbing, but also flexing on his haters.
who the hell dabs like that? Who the fuck? No, get it off my screen.
That's how
I
I'm gonna
can't-
dab from now on. I dab like that all the time. Dodger dabs like this nonstop. Have you ever seen Dodger
yes,
dab?
but Dodger like what's the word I'm looking
Embellishes.
for? Is a goober, so it's like fine. It's like fine. People expect it from goobers, but Luke Cage is like a badass. No one wants to see a badass dab. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, no
he's
one wants to
supposed
see
to be
like Schwarzenegger dab.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that.
I don't want to see that. I want to see Schwarzenegger crush cake in a tank.
Yeah, I want to see Schwarzenegger throw a
You
knife
know?
at a man, stick him against the wall, and go stick around.
Dude, I
Like, I
saw
wanna see
this
that.
is a
Yeah.
complete random tangent on Arnold. I was scrolling through TikTok right before bed, as you do. Okay. That's what boomers do these days. We just scroll through TikTok. I have an incredible TikTok, by the way, because I have never liked, commented, or favorited a single thing on that platform. And so the algorithm's just throwing me random shit. It's just completely random shit. And it's a fantastic way to browse TikTok. That being said,
you know what?
TikTok's great. It's fantastic.
Garbage town.
It's great. I've lost many of sheep to sleep to that. Anyways, I'm watching it. I'm scrolling through, and it's a UFC from this past weekend, and there's the Slap Championship. Okay? It's like a sponsored UFC thing where these like super muscle men are just slapping the shit out of each other and knocking each other out just cold. That's what it is. So it's this guy, and they're like, it's like if you saw the Stallone movie where they arm wrestle, it's like that, but they're getting ready to slap. Okay, so they're both holding the thing. This guy like pulls back all the way, turns around, slaps this guy, knocks the other guy out cold. He just falls back. His team like grabs him and cradles him as he's falling to the ground. The camera pans. This is what I'm still blown away. The camera pans over. Arnold is sitting there in a chair like this and just kind of smiling. No other gestures, no other facial reactions. It keeps panning. And Logan Paul is standing next to Arnold. He's clapping. It was the wildest shit I've ever seen. Wildest fucking shit. This is great.
I would pay
It's
a
incredible.
disgusting amount of money to see that same person slap Logan Paul.
Well, he probably would if he got paid enough
instead
for
of
it.
these like staged boxing matches, why can't we get him in the slap chop competition?
I don't know. It was a wild night.
He has a slappable face. JP, if you could slap Logan Paul, would you do it?
I mean, if I was allowed to, yeah, I'm not just gonna like go up and slap him. That would probably be bad. He also could probably he could throw a punch. He's not like a.
No, but he can't hit you back.
Oh, okay.
That's the rule.
Yeah, I mean, yes. If I was allowed to slap Logan Paul with no repercussions, probably, yeah.
Jesse, I already know you would. I just want to know whether you would backhand him or fronthand him.
Oh, backhand for maximum
You cannot
disrespect.
backhand. I looked up the rules to the slap contest.
My man.
You cannot backhand.
My man. Me and Jesse with the backhand.
You're not allowed to backhand in the slapping contest.
I want to know what Schwarzenegger when he was like this.
What he was thinking?
Already coming up with like a one-liner, and I'm trying to wonder what that one-liner was. It's got to be good though. It has to be slap related, and I just don't know enough slap related one-liners to know what would be good. But like, there's something cooking up there.
Yeah. It was wild. It was wild. All I have to say is this. No!
God damn it!
Can we use that image? Can we use that from now on? Anytime something great happens, we're like, that was very good.
Anytime
never.
Bronze, here's the thing. I'm going to make a Twitter bot. And anytime Bronze tweets, it's just going to respond to her tweet with Luke Cage down.
Now that's a good use. Now that's a good use of a Twitter bot.
That's a great use of a Twitter bot. We're going to call it the Dab Bot 2000. That's the name of the bot. It's great. It's great. 10 out of 10. Great use of Twitter.
Damn it.
Anyways. Do you guys really want him to reset the Netflix shows? You wouldn't want him to like...
Yes!
You'd want all 3 seasons of Daredevil to be ignored and started over.
I want them to pick and choose.
Okay.
What's canonical? Kind of like what they did with the new Spider-Man movie, whose name I can't remember. Like they never say everything that happened to Tobey Maguire is canon, and they don't actually say it. They just kind of allude to what exists in this universe and what doesn't. Like whether or not Doc Ock is dead, whether or not Green Goblin's there. They don't even they like barely even like. I think they make like one allusion to Venom, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, maybe 0.
He's in the very end of the film for 5 seconds.
Yeah, but like I don't think Toby references him at all.
No, not really.
What do you mean?
There was no That 70s Show Venom mentioned from Toby, is what he's saying.
I mean, they definitely said that they fought alien space monsters.
Yeah,
goo
because he said
monsters in the
he
movie.
fought. Yeah, because they're talking about like the Avengers, and he's like, we don't have
They
the
didn't-
Avengers,
yeah.
but I did find an alien.
They didn't mention that 70s show dude, but they definitely mentioned that Venom existed, but they didn't say Venom by name.
Yeah,
They said like, oh yeah. And he was like, you guys fought space monsters? All I did was fight a man in a rhino suit, which by the way,
still very good.
is a maximum roast on how shitty those movies were. Just saying,
Hmm.
terrible films.
Really is.
Terrible film.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
I don't know. I kind of like where it's like somewhat alluded to, maybe. So that way we don't have to start over from scratch. But
Yeah.
like, yeah. So I'm not saying we should New 52 it, where we throw it all out and Daredevil is just starting out.
yeah,
But I think I like this like idea that they're gonna pick and choose like what they do with Kingpin, what they do with Daredevil, whether or not the electric character is back, or whether I kind of like the concept of like multiversing it and like I don't know, maybe this
could.
version of Matt Murdock is already operating in Hell's Kitchen. Maybe
well, he was already in Spider-Man,
some.
so he's already canonical in that sense.
Well, there's
Well, we
an
don't know if he's
incredible
whooping the shit out of criminals though. Caught a brick.
He caught that brick.
even though the two of you haven't seen it, there is the way that they sell the new I'll say Spider-Man, Batman is it is straight up at the beginning of the movie. They're like, here's the premise. It's year 2. The man's been putting people away for a while. He's already dealt with a bunch of crazy people. We're not going to retread his origin story. It is literally like he's in it and he's trying to figure shit out for himself as he goes through.
Yeah.
And so there are very clear, like, oh, he's clearly dealt with X villain before. Like that kind of shit. So I'm fine with that premise being moved to someone like Daredevil. Be like, look, the man's put in his dues and he's doing his shit, and we're not going to retread it. We're not going to go back. Here's some new stories. And I'd be totally fine with that. And because no one needs to like relearn all of his stuff. Like, why does he Kingpin? Like, we all know. We all get it. And if you don't, go watch those other shows. You'll catch up.
Yeah.
I also feel like they're retooling their abilities a bit. Like, because Kingpin seems like they're kind of moving.
The man
You
took
know
an
what I
arrow
mean?
to
Like,
the
it kind of
heart.
feels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
And I
mentioned
feel
that
like.
last week. I agree, though. They definitely are
Daredevil.
playing fast and loose with the rule sets of their powers.
Or maybe they're not playing it fast and loose. Maybe they're like saying, no, he does have some powers. And I mean, even with Matt Murdock, listen, I'm a huge Daredevil fan. I think he's very good at what he does. But even that brick move, it was almost like Spidey sense fast. Like I did wonder for half a second where I was like, would he been like, I know that he has hyper senses and awareness, but like he was faster than Spider-Man on that. Like, do we think Daredevil's gonna get a slight power boost to match the Kingpin he'll be fighting? I don't know.
Could be.
Because if Kingpin's stronger, the Kingpin we saw in Hawkeye, listen, I love my hallway fighting Daredevil. He would have beat the brakes off of that poor boy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he would have.
He took bullets. He got hit by a car.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is our poor Matt gonna do against that freaking tank of a man? He was hit
Matt
by
took
a
some shots,
car.
though. And, he definitely got fucked up in some of those episodes. I don't know if he ever got hit by a car, that type of stuff, but.
An arrow exploded, JP, and he walked away from it.
That is true. You are correct. I had forgotten about that. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I hope that they.
Now you're annoying me after getting exploded. I
Well,
don't
that
know.
would be a little
our
annoying.
poor Matt-
I mean, if I got hit by a car, then she shot an exploding arrow, I'd be annoyed. That would annoy me. Okay, the man was 100% right for saying he was annoyed.
But what is our
Man.
poor Catholic boy gonna do against this armored rhino man?
He's gonna have to
Like,
call upon the power of God and get some
Can I-
nightsticks and beat his ass.
Was it boy, there's so, this is how I know everything blends together. Was there a, was the Fire Vision the TV show or the Ben Affleck movie?
What?
In one of them, Daredevil, what he saw instead of like sonar was like fire. Everything was on fire, and that's how we saw like. Is that the TV show or is that Ben Affleck?
I mean, that's kind of. I think that was Ben Affleck, but that's kind of how his powers work.
I mean, like, okay, I just keep thinking like, oh, well, if they want to make him like super powered level, just give him the fire vision again. But I can't remember if it was the TV show, if it was Ben Affleck. I don't, because in the Ben Affleck one, he's like that scene with him and Jennifer Garner on the like, seesaw. Yeah. That is up there with catching that brick.
When it rains, it's like I can see.
Yeah. I think that's canonically how the character kind of works, though. I thought you meant, by the way, Vision, like the character. I was very confused. It's like, there's a fiery version of Vision? He had the Phoenix? What's going on here? What's happening?
Vision.
I don't know. It's weird. I feel like what worked about the Daredevil show is that he's so much a normal guy. Like, in the first hallway fight from season 1, because there's another hallway fight in season 3 that's so good, he kind of gets his ass beat. Like, he does a lot of.
Well, that's because he wanted to get his ass beat. That's why. He enjoys the pain, Bronze. That's what season 3 is about.
No, when he's escaping the prison. What? Which version of this did you watch?
I'm just fucking with you. He was in prison in season 3? What? Maybe I need to rewatch season 3.
You do.
Oh, wait. Does he get in prison because everyone thinks that Bullseye is him and they arrest him? Is that what you're talking about? And now am I remembering it?
Yeah, and then he's like in the medical examiner's room and dudes start coming in and they start trying to beat him up.
I remember now.
He has to like, yeah. I don't believe he's there because he's in prison.
Oh, he was a visitor.
Correctly.
Chat saying he's there as an attorney. Okay.
There,
I need to rewatch it.
He goes there, and then for some reason, this is the part I forget. He's in the medical examiner's room, I want to say, or maybe he goes in there during the fight, and just like all these dudes, like hired by Kingpin, just start.
Oh, that's when Kingpin's
out of him.
God. Oh, okay,
there's
I remember
so many
everything.
Of them. Yeah. And there's like a prison riot, and it is like one of the most like terrifying scenes I've seen in an MCU show.
Yeah,
where it's like you actually feel afraid for him because it feels like you're on the inside of a prison riot. There's almost like no cuts, and he gets really tired, and you can see him like start to stumble on the ground, and like he's having difficulty standing up, and he's just trying to hide, and there's just like dudes trying to kill him everywhere. It's actually a really like probably one of the greatest scenes I've ever seen, including in the movies.
Yeah, Punisher was there as well, right?
Yes.
Yes.
No, not in that scene.
Oh, that's a different scene?
The Punisher is a different breakout where all those dudes come to fight him and he like literally murders
he murders everyone. Oh, yeah. But that's at the beginning of Kingpin being in jail. Right, okay.
Yeah, Punisher mows them the fuck down, if I remember correctly, whereas Matt kind of gets his ass whooped.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to rewatch season 3.
Matt getting eaten like a dog. I mean, I love it, but even Bullseye beats the shit out of that poor boy. Like, I think everybody does at some point. He really goes through it in season 3.
That makes sense. I get it.
I'm sending you 2 images that one, I love that this is a shot of Kingpin. It is just closet because it's funny. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Wait, what? Where'd you send it? Oh, I got it.
They're just in the normal thing. I got this Kingpin shot. It's hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
The second thing.
Kingpin. I mean, he's really giving it his all here. He's just dabbing on the haters.
I hate you so much. I hate you so much. No, but like the Kingpin where he's like in his closet and all his closet is just like, I relate to this on every level.
Where he just has the same outfit?
Yeah, I relate to this on every human level.
It's so stupid. That's
and then
dumb.
And then the funny thing is like this other image is the fire vision from the TV show, but then the comic vision, I realize.
Oh, I thought this was like X-rated for a second. Jesus.
I would have preferred the like neon 1980s synth wave. If they would have done that in the TV show, that would have been the craziest shit ever. The like just everything synth. He sees everything like it's an 85 computer. That'd be amazing.
They couldn't do that because at the time, I mean, the MCU wasn't as recognized or accepted, so they had to do this bullshit up top. It's kind of wild that we got a Daredevil movie with like Ben Affleck playing it and Jennifer Garner in like, what was that, the 90s? Was that in the was that early 2000s? That's kind of crazy.
That might have been early
Something like
2000s,
that.
but it feels like a 90s
You know
film.
what we need to do? We need to watch that. We need to watch
No.
that.
Wow, it was 2003?
That's crazy. What's his name? Funny enough, Batman related. The guy that plays Penguin, Colin Farrell, plays Bullseye in this, and it's ridiculous.
Bullseye, yeah.
Funny enough,
There's a scene
John
where he
Favreau
literally
played Foggy.
tapped.
Yeah, John
He
Favreau is
literally
Foggy.
tapped the bullseye on his head. And he goes, "Bullseye, yeah." And I'm like, "What is this?"
It was real stupid. At the time, though, I was like, that's sick, bro. That's fucking comic book shit
No,
right there, man.
I think at the time I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mom. When Daredevil came out, the one with Ben Affleck, was I all hype about it? Do you remember?
He liked it.
Really? That's so embarrassing for me. Did you like it?
I mean, he killed a
No?
guy with a
You have
paperclip.
taste. Because you have taste and I don't.
He
Apparently,
killed
my
a guy
mom
with-
says I loved it when it came out.
He killed a guy with a
God damn
paperclip.
it.
That's pretty badass.
I can't.
Like, he gets a paperclip and just fucking kills the guy. It's a pretty sick move.
I need you to know that the Marvel. Oh my God! Listen to this ridiculous lineup. All right, so
For what?
2003 Daredevil, starring Ben Affleck.
Okay.
2005 Elektra.
Yep.
2005 was also the Fantastic Four movie.
The first one?
Then Fantastic Four: The Silver Surfer. Then Ghost Rider. We also had Hulk was in that time period, and The Punisher.
The Ang Lee Hulk?
Yes. Yeah.
That Punisher film's actually pretty good.
It's crazy to me that these films, the early 2000s comic book movies are all over the place. Because at the time, I guess
The
it's
Wild West.
yeah, Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man came out during this time period in 2002.
Yeah.
And we had X-Men 2 was in 2003. So there's this like just bizarre.
Those are all bizarre films back at this point, right? Like, but
Yeah.
At
Looking
the time,
back,
I was like, this is great. Some were
Yeah,
pretty
it's
bad.
sort of-
Some were hit and miss.
It's during that time period where I think someone allowed executives to be
Here's-
like, the kids aren't gonna get it. So what if instead of Mario and Luigi fighting toads, it was giant guys with little tiny head, like that kind of
Here's the
shit
thing.
happened all the time.
Jesse, and Bronze, this probably doesn't exist for you. But when I think back on the early 2000s,
As a 12-year-old, Bronze,
view-
you probably don't remember this time period.
I view the world through the lens of the MTV Movie Awards, where everything just felt and looked like the MTV Movie Awards.
MTV was relevant?
Oh, yeah. MTV Movie Awards were popping off. Real World was not fighting itself yet. They were still doing Real Worlds and Road Rules. That was still a show. But if I think back on those times, it's like, oh, yeah, let me think about what the MTV Movie Awards looked like. And then they looked exactly like all these films look like. That's how I did.
Remember Catwoman?
Yeah, I saw that.
How could I forget? How can you forget?
She constantly licks herself in that movie. It's real weird. It's real strange. It's a strange time for Halle
Like, if
Berry.
you want to know,
I don't think I watched
here's-
it when it came out, but I know so many scenes from it. Like there's a basketball scene from it that is like the worst thing I've ever seen.
Is that where she's like
my
doing
life.
cartwheels and shit and then like shoots the basketball?
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
so bad. It's
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Brad's just
so
like, oh, you're
actually
good at
bad.
basketball.
You know how Mike Coulter felt about that? He was into it. He said, dab on.
No.
Halle Berry.
JP, when you mention the movie awards and MTV, the image I just sent you perfectly sums up the entire time period.
Is it a Jim Carrey?
The entire early 2000s.
Or is
all
this...
of the early 2000s summed up in one image is
Oh,
perfect.
dude, I was about to say, is it the fucking jeans outfit from
Perfect.
Timberlake? Yes. This is where my brain
perfectly
goes.
encapsulates
It's
the entire
this.
early 2000s.
100%.
So it's so bad.
Do
How
you
anyone
remember-
was like,
Do you remember
God
the
damn, that
goof
is
that they
violent.
did on Matrix Revelations with Will Ferrell playing the architect.
Yes, he's like indubitably vis-a-vis. Yeah. Oh, I remember all that.
was
Yeah.
great.
That was actually, but Will Ferrell is like
Will
funny.
Ferrell's-
So
he's-
that was
he's pretty
most
funny,
of it's most of that is garbage though.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, this is quickly devolving into We're Old, the show. So
Except for Bronze, who is Bronze,
Except
you wouldn't
Bronze,
remember
yeah.
as an 8-year-old, you wouldn't remember that stuff.
Yeah, Bronze doesn't.
Shut up.
You don't.
Let's
You just
talk
have
about
Nickelodeon's
Legion.
Kid Choice
Bronze,
Awards.
you're not
No,
into
stop.
this
This
outfit.
is like fucking. This is fucking cursed content. Let's talk about Legion, which is
Hold on. I don't think.
Jesse, did you like Wait, what?
I'm trying to
Hold
Hold on, I
figure
I'm
gotta
on
know
a
what's
lag.
about to happen.
We
here.
did have some casting stuff for Kraven the Hunter. We talked about Aaron Taylor Johnson. Russell Crowe's attached to this movie in an unknown role. And the White Lotus breakout Fred Heckinger is playing the part of Chameleon. And now Ariana DeBose is playing Calypso.
What
So-
is this movie? What?
It's Kraven the Hunter. You know, Sony's making their spin-offs of all the fucking Spider-Man bad people. And so they're going to have Calypso.
Okay.
Cool.
And all these, it's real weird.
Like, all right. I mean,
Yeah.
Okay.
It's strange. It's strange. And then the other thing is Kevin Feige came out and said that Doctor Strange is now the, quote, anchor of the MCU. He's the linchpin.
Oh, I called that.
Yeah.
I said he was replacing Iron Man.
Yeah. It makes a lot of sense.
yeah, that checks out.
I just wonder how long, I guess is the question.
Doctor Strange.
And then there's also a character spoiler for Doctor Strange, thanks to Funko Pop. But it's just a character named Sarah. We don't know anything about it. It's just a
What?
Sarah Funko Pop. And she's wearing sorcerer garb. I don't know who she is. Could be two
Probably
characters.
one of the students.
It could be Baroness Sarah Mordo. Or it could also be Sarah Wolf, who served as Doctor Strange's, the secretary of Doctor Strange and the romantic interest of Wong. So it could be that. Or maybe
Pretty sure
mix
it's
of all
like-
of them.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like his apprentice.
Yeah. So that's that. That's coming out. We're 2 months out from that movie. We're a month out from, the Moon Knights. And we've been watching Legion. So let's talk about that. Jesse, Cox.
Did you like Legion?
Yeah, I want
Did
to start with
like
you.
it?
Let me just give you the notes.
Okay.
All right, here's my play-by-play of watching the first episode.
Oh, God.
Do it.
How did I never watch this? What year is this set in? Widescreen TVs, but shows from the 50s? Is this real? What is real? Wait, so was that guy actually there? Shout out to the dude in the bushes in the background. I love that man. Those are my first episode reactions. I wrote them down. Love this show. It's so good. Love it. I was like, the entire first episode, I was just like, what is happening? Here's what messed me up though, JP.
Uh-huh.
Last week you said, always watch the background.
Yep.
And so there was multiple times that I kept rewinding stuff
Oh, to see
to
stuff.
like
Oh, okay.
see a thing because you always mess me up. And I realized in the first like 20 seconds of the episode, when like it's doing the weird like flashes of his life,
Yep.
there's this like creepy dude in the background the entire. I was like,
He's just standing there watching.
yeah, oh yeah, got me. I was like, okay, this is this show, huh?
Here's
All right.
So it has been a while. I mean, when did this launch? It came out 2017, so it's been 5 years ish since I watched this. I forgot how slow they were with everything in this show. They don't tell you anything in the first 2 episodes about what the fuck's going on. Like, you have very, very little information to grab onto, except that it's fucking weird. And there's a lot, and you don't know what's real, and everything just seems kind of chaotic and random.
Well,
We were supposed to
At the end
watch
of
the first 2 episodes, right?
Yep, just first.
Yeah,
two.
yeah.
Yeah, so be careful about
Okay. I
spoiling
didn't want
anything
to
past
spoil.
that.
Yeah, I didn't want to spoil anything. I've only watched the first season. I was actually surprised that there's more than one.
There's 3, and it gets weirder,
Yeah.
which is wild to consider.
Yeah.
It gets real
I've
fucking
only
weird.
watched the first season. Don't know how I didn't watch 2 and 3. I think they just weren't advertised as heavily because I loved the first season and I just missed the other 2. But I wanted to make sure I didn't spoil anything.
Yeah.
It shocked me, like, rewatching this, because for me, it's also been, like, since it aired 5 years ago. So some of it is new. That they just straight out use the word mutant. It's so
Yeah.
refreshing.
Yeah.
Fox
So
properties,
fucking
they can
refreshing.
just
They
say
literally
it, yeah.
are like, yeah, they're literally just like, this is the most powerful mutant we've ever encountered. And I was like, fuck, yes, thank you. Like, they don't say altered individual, humans with abilities. Literally, it just goes, holy shit, this isn't, like, we should put this fucking mutant down. Like, he doesn't even know how to use his abilities.
Yeah.
And it's like, it also makes me really sad, like, watching episode 2. And I'm gonna let you continue, Jesse, because listening to your first impressions is so good. But, like, it also made me feel like this was the mutant story that, like, we needed, because as a big fan of X-Men, it's like one of my favorite comic runs. Like, I feel like we focus way too much on the combat and not on like what it makes it interesting to be a mutant. Like, we focus way too much on power sets.
Yeah.
And the fact that he has to, like, kind of sit here and work through this trauma of, like, oh, you were literally gaslit into believing that you're fucking insane. And now we have to do the work of trying to fix this because you're not crazy. You have abilities. The voices in your head are real.
I don't know that's true, Bronze. You may have watched it, but I don't know that it's true.
It's very true.
I am like,
true. You're right.
There are this show. I don't understand how I can both laugh hysterically and be terrified all in one show.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much.
What'd you think of that dance scene?
The minute it happened, it was fine, but I started like, I can never watch anything just to watch it anymore. Like, the minute the dance scene started,
analyze everything.
Yeah. The minute the dancing started, I was like, okay, well, everyone else in this shot is in a orange jumpsuit, but the two main characters are in, like, darker suits. But then at the same time, what's her face? The actress from Parks and Rec. Yeah. She's in, like, a red thing. And then there's the dude in the background in the tree, still just like,
yes, he's still just hiding there.
And then there's the woman. There was a woman in the, like, place where they hand out the pills, but she was in red too. And I was like, is that Audrey Plaza? Like, there was so much going on in that scene. I didn't even have time to enjoy the fact that they were just doing, like, a fun dance number for no reason. I was just like, what the hell is happening? I was like, something's going on here. And that's because of you, mister. You were like, dude, watch that background. So now
it's the show where that is rewarded in a lot of ways. Because they and that gets more and more important as the episodes go on, because the director is, like, very aware of how easy it is to hide all that shit, and they start doing that, like, more and more every single episode.
Here's another note.
The curtain starts to be, like, peeled back, and you start to realize what's going on, because you still don't know what's going on.
Oh, not at all.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. There is. If you, like, just been a fan of any X-Men, you've seen the Fox stuff, you kind of get the idea at the end of the first episode that, like, oh, okay, because they do that whole mutants escaping a thing, like, not montage, but, like, scene, that shot of them running out and, like, flinging dudes. And, like,
is that real, though?
Cool. Again, I don't fucking know, man.
Yeah.
But here's all I wrote, because again, just a reminder. And going back to what JP you had said, is that real? Jesus, there's two timelines at the end of the first episode going to episode 2. That's like,
yes,
he's in the basement of the house, but he's also, like, on the run with. It's crazy. Anyway, this is a note. This is verbatim what I wrote.
Okay.
Girl shows up in his house. Did you like playing with boobs? Did you like your boobies? She rubs herself. You killed me. That's all I wrote. I was like, what is this show?
Very, very
like,
big whiplash.
Do you like having boobs? you killed me. I was like, whoa, what? I was like, this show is insane, and I love it.
Yeah,
I love
that's explained
everything
later in the
about this.
episode. If you caught
Oh yeah,
that.
no, it's like all of it checks out.
Yeah,
Like it's very well written. This is one of those things where I can tell that whoever the showrunner is certainly had a passion for like making sure everything that is revealed, at least thus far, there's like little sprinkles of Easter eggs along the way. So yeah, I'm digging it. It's super interesting.
it was Noah Hawley, is who the showrunner was. He did Fargo.
Well, it's great.
He created and wrote the television
I
show
love
Fargo.
Fargo.
Yeah, all right, that
love
checks out then.
Fargo.
He also worked
Yeah.
on Bones,
Actually
The
makes a lot of
Unusual, and
sense.
My Generation. So
Yeah, that all checks out. Yeah, there's
You know, I love that. Like, I love that confusion though, right, Jesse? Because like the unreliable narrator is kind of
Mhm.
this is such a unique twist on it, where instead of hearing it from his point of view, we're experiencing it from his point of view. And in so many places, like there's actually an unsettling scene where he's like, "Is this real? Like, are you really here?" How slowly she responds is so fucking unsettling. She's like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, we're here. Yeah,
But I also love
I'm
that in that
here."
moment, she's
that's
like,
when they're
I
in like
came to
the
save
forest,
you.
right? With the in the
Yes.
Yeah,
room
that's
with-
at the
The
very end
way
of the
she
first episode.
answers
Yeah.
is not reassuring at all. If you look at it, it's
Yeah.
not reassuring. It's not like this warm, like, "Oh my, of course I'm here. I've got you." She's like, "Yeah, I'm
But
real."
during that scene as well,
She responds with, "I'm real."
immediately after that, she's like, I came to save you because I love you. And he looks at her and she looks at him and she's like, and you love me too? And he's like, oh yeah, of course. Like it's so their relationship is so wild. And
Yeah.
and I get that like she clearly like there's something going on with her that potentially is like mutanty because you can't touch her and that's a very like rogue thing, you know? And so I don't there's clearly some crazy shit happening and it's fascinating, but also because the narrator is unreliable, 99% of what I'm watching, I'm like, is that real? And I think it also goes back to what I wrote down is like, what year is this set in? There are people with tablets that are like future tablets, yet wearing 1970s clothes.
And that
They're giant
trend keeps
widescreen
up.
TVs.
Yeah.
What now?
That trend keeps up through the entire show.
And it's jarring. Like it is unsettling to watch something where it like the architecture looks old, but then there's like future shit there. There's like again, just even in the main hospital building and the clockwork facility or whatever, they're giant widescreen TVs, but they only ever play old black and white footage. And then there's like just things in the background that seem futuristic, but then like things in the foreground that look like it's from like 1965. It's jarring, and I love that about it because it definitely has that like Dharma Initiative vibe from Lost.
Yeah.
You're like, what year is this? What is happening?
Yeah.
I love that vibe because it's disconcerting.
Yeah.
You know, and there's so many things that are disconcerting about the show, like that subtly kind of puts you on edge, which I love, which is like how she responds. Like it's like not reassuring in any way, and then they turn it into a joke so that you're quickly misdirected. But another thing that's like interesting, you were mentioning Rogue. One of my favorite twists on this character is that with Rogue, she can't touch people and she wants to touch them. So it kind of turns her into this sort of like longing creature that in the movies is a little annoying. I kind of love that this character, Sydney, is like, I think her name's Sydney, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is like,
Yeah.
no, I literally feel like ants are under my skin. I don't want you to fucking touch me. I don't want to fucking hold hands with you. I don't like it. I will force myself to if that's what you need. But I kind of love that about her. And I think like a lot of Demi and Ace people probably feel the same where it's like, oh yeah, no, she like seems to be into him. I'm sure she likes him, but she's just like, this is not my love language. So I love that sort of twist on the Rogue thing. Whereas two people wanting to hold hands and they can't, she's like, it just doesn't. I don't like it. It doesn't really do anything for me, and I hate it. And honestly, if I could just gaze at you lovingly, and have a mental romance, that's so much better for me. I love that it's more one-sided because I think it makes that so much more interesting rather than them trying to find workarounds for physically touching each other, where you could do that pretty quickly, right? Like if Rogue put on a gimp suit, she could.
I mean, they definitely tried. There's a whole storyline in those movies.
That's true.
Where he's like, if I just ice up my dick, I think we can do this. That's what they're talking about in that scene, by the way. He's like, I could just cover parts of me in ice. Like, no, dude, that's messed up.
Yeah.
Like, right? Like, there's loopholes. There are things that exist that, would help with that.
Yeah.
A dental dam. I don't know. And and they spend so much time like, oh, they both want to be together and they can't. I kind of like that this girl is like, no, don't fucking touch me. When she said, the closer someone gets to me, it feels like there's ants under my skin. I was like,
and at the time, at the time of meeting that character, you don't know what she's doing. You just think that, oh, well, this is a psychiatric hospital, so maybe she actually does have, an issue with people touching her. Like that's a totally normal thing that someone might have a big issue with. You have no idea if it's
the dude from Death Stranding.
Yeah, totally. You have no idea like why. At that point, you just think, oh, mental institution. Okay, maybe she doesn't like that, and that's why she's here. And so they do that like nonstop, which I'm really into. Jesse, did you write any more thoughts for for chapter 2? I know you read some.
Yeah, no. So for chapter 2, the biggest thing for me, or I guess episode 2, the biggest thing for me,
they referred to them as chapters for whatever reason of the show.
I thought it was interesting. I didn't have as many notes, but I thought it was interesting the way that they tried to do the whole like, you're not crazy. That's just what they put in your head. But we're going to do like mutant therapy on you real quick.
Yeah, we're going to do memory
just to
work.
see what's going on with your past, which is, it's crazy to me. They're just like, you're not crazy. However, we'd like to like really look into make sure you're not crazy by delving deep into your past with like, there is I can't tell if it's important. One of the notes I wrote down was the dad's book. And
The World's Angriest Boy in the World?
Yes, that's what it's called. I was trying to find it. Yeah. Fascinating. Don't know what that means exactly. But like,
that
obviously
book's real fucked up.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I want to go like research that book more. I want to see what's going on. Again, all of the stuff that's happening so far, I guess because we're only 2 episodes in, but I'm glad all this show exists now because it is the exact same vibe as when watching. I keep going back to Lost, but I would watch an episode of Lost and then I would spend the next week listening to weird podcasts of people being like, here's what's actually happening. Because I just want to know what was going on so badly, and I couldn't wait till the next episode. And of course, everyone's theories were wrong because also anyway, everyone's theories are wrong about what Lost ended up being. And I'm glad I get to watch this back to back because I can get answers immediately. And it's frustrating because these first 2 episodes are all set up for future problems or like when they go look at his past, we get glimpses of things that are clearly going to be important later. But right now we're just like, why do they keep replaying this scene? What is this scene of them like walking through the woods/field? Why does that keep showing up? Like that kind of stuff. And I'm very curious what that ends up becoming. And so that's pretty neat. And then the fact that he keeps seeing people that, at least from what we're told, are dead makes me wonder about everything. You know what I mean? Like, once you say, oh, well, the guy who is in charge of narrating what we're seeing sees dead people.
Right.
Then is any of this like that? Once that hits, like, even the idea of a person that he can't touch already sets off the, like, she could be a mutant, she could have this thing, but it already sets off the triggers that are like, well, why can't he touch her? Is this some Sixth Sense shit that, like, she doesn't exist? Like, that kind of thing?
Well, they do
Love it.
touch at one
Love
point
everything.
in the first episode, towards the end.
Well, do they? Go back, rewatch that. Go back, rewatch that. As they spend the entire time with like a pillow between them, they hold, they're holding things, and then there's even a scene where and this is not including Sid, but the scene where his sister comes to him with the cake at the beginning.
Yeah,
she's eating
Amy.
the frosting. He's like, "Is that good?" There's a scene later on where he's like having a trippy moment, and the two people that are in the corner laughing are laughing at him, and it cuts to him, and there's no one on the other side of that glass. And again, is that just a moment he's having? And there was at one point, and he's like, I don't know. And the scene where in the first episode where he and Sid are like about to kiss, there was like a spark between their lips, but those lips never touch, dog.
I
They
guess
never
that's
touch.
true. Yeah, you're right.
So they're doing again, I expect Sydney to be a real person, but they're doing a great job in the first 2 episodes of being like, "What's real, idiot?" And I dig it. I'm here for it. So
what do you think happened in the pool when he dives into the pool, and then the skeletons that are clearly on fire?
Yeah, no, I think because they showed the like special effects, I would imagine there's only 2 options here. Either one of the other mutants, maybe even Sydney, maybe the lady from the car, whoever, vaporized everyone up there. Or this is again, this dude being the most powerful mutant, he did it himself, and this is like we don't have an explanation of why or how he did it, and maybe all these voices in her head are like all these people are like just people in his head, like that kind of thing. And he and these voices, the ones that are like, "Don't kill yourself, dude," are like they're the ones helping him out through all of his problems. But he is like, he vaporized those dudes, and he's doing all this stuff by himself. And his escape was by himself, but he like manufactured all these people to help him get out of there. I don't know, because he even says he saw the one guy there, and then later he's like, "Oh wait, that wasn't you. This was these other people," which is like,
yeah, they changed the narrative like
you just changed the story
minutes after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I love stuff like this. This is my bread and butter. I
knew that. Yeah, I knew that going into the show that this is going to be your jam. I think Bronze did as well.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna love this. I've never recommended something to Jesse. I think so far I'm like 4 for 4. He's always like going recommendations. But what's interesting is like what on a rewatch, there's things in this show that I didn't catch that are actually like it's weird. Like you can go back and it's very there's like not a lot of holes. Like there is a clear intent and setup, which is my like storytelling style. So I really like it. Like
Yep.
I love that they don't explicitly tell you that the two have swapped bodies supposedly in that scene. But yet it's very clear because Legion is like, "Oh, whatever." And the girl who does not like to be touched is flipping out because she's being touched repeatedly.
right.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, and the other person's calm. Like, huh? You know what I mean? Like, it's interesting. But what's also interesting about that is he looks confused because and then he's like shocked that he's like touching his boobs and he's in his body, but it's like, you were looking at yourself. Right?
I mean, there's a scene where he is like it's Sydney outside drinking coffee, and there's a flash, and then it's just him outside drinking coffee. And again, I don't know anything about this character. I know nothing about this, but part of me is just like, is this one of those things we're gonna find out that like this dude has been everyone the entire time? Because like I don't know how they intend to
set up
use
to be like they try to cover their own tracks in places, and it's really cool.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. I see all the like layers they're setting up, and I know
Did you catch
the ways
the
they
name
can
of the
go.
facility?
It was the Clockwork something. I don't remember what it was.
Psychiatric Hospital.
No. The
Clockworks.
name of the mutant facility.
Has that been revealed yet? Oh, Summerland.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Summerland. They show it for like a half a second.
Yeah.
They dropped another name.
Summer's family.
They had there's they were talking about another incident, and I can't remember what that's from or if I would know that. They say that when the dude who's like in the back room guy who has like the dog question mark,
The nerd
that
running
dude-
the MRI machine, that guy?
no, the guy who's like
Mm-mm.
in the gray suit.
The wood
Oh,
whittler.
you're talking about the yeah.
Hi.
Not the wood whittler, the other guy, the third dude. The
Oh yeah,
other
yeah,
dude
the
who
guy
might be their boss.
interrogating him, who gets the pen through his face.
The
No,
other guy.
He's talking about their
There's
boss.
there's pen face guy.
Oh,
there's
gotcha,
little
gotcha, gotcha.
man, and then there's the other dude.
Yeah.
And that other
That they
dude,
report to.
when they go to him, he says, like this could be the most powerful mutant, and not since. And then he name drops the thing, and I'm like,
Yeah, I
was
don't
that
remember
from
what
one
he
of the
names
movies? Is that a
name
comic
dropped.
book reference?
I
don't remember.
Red. It's red something.
Yeah, it didn't ring a bell as like a thing I immediately should know, but I was like, that's something though, right? That's something. No clue. But yeah, so far everything about this, one of the things I love the most is that they are not afraid to
Red
take
Hook incident. Okay, I was like, Red Hook incident. Yes.
What is the Red Hook incident? Should I know this?
It's from Dark Phoenix Saga. I'm pretty sure. There's a lot of comic book references in this show. Chat will correct me if I'm wrong. You always do, Chat. But I'm pretty
shut
sure
up.
it's from.
Sorry, I didn't mean you shut up. I meant like the universal shut up, and that you're absolutely right. You're absolute. It is from the movie I didn't see because I would not be asked to go see the Dark Phoenix movie. That's why it didn't make sense to me.
I think that happens in the comic books. That's where they pulled this from.
Sure.
Say.
But
it was also in the movie Dark Phoenix, I believe.
Yeah, 1992 is when it takes place in the movie, so that checks out from what they're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. No, I didn't watch.
Yeah, Red Hook incident. It's like, so like there's a lot of direct X-Men references. So like calling the facility Summerland, that has some significance. And then the Red Hook incident is when Jean Grey goes like kind of crazy and the Phoenix like emerges and she like kills a bunch of people. And so like that's kind of what they're referencing in that scene is like after that they're just gonna kill him because they don't want to take any risks.
Right. It is like everything about the show I'm immediately infatuated with, and I love all the little bits of it. I also love the way that they just like use their characters. It's so far so good. I'm very curious as to why there are only 3 seasons, or if it like goes off the rails at some point. You know what I mean? Like there's
show
or if
gets-
it was just
it also just like wasn't super popular, which is
season 1
a
was popular,
shame.
and 2 and 3. 2 and 3 get slower and also get weirder. Like the show gets
didn't
weirder every
promote
single
it.
episode. No, they definitely did promote it, but the show gets weirder
did
every
they?
single episode to the
Do you think
point
it was
of where.
before its time?
Yes, yeah, I do.
Because I keep thinking about this in reference to like Mr. Robot. Mr. Robot gets real weird, like real weird.
This
And I
trust
loved
me, this
every
gets
bit of
weirder.
that. And it got 6 seasons. So, I'm
Yeah.
just like.
This one gets like, I mean,
Did it get 6 seasons?
5 or 6.
I think it's 5, right?
I think it was 5. We watched season 1 recently on another show.
No, it was 4. Really?
Oh, okay. Then yeah, maybe it was only 4. I think they maybe split season 4 in half or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyways, yeah, this show, like, it goes on 3 seasons. Every single episode actually gets weirder. And like there's points in season 2 where you'll watch an episode and you have to actually just watch it again. Cause you're like, what the actual fuck? I don't understand anything that I just saw. It looked real cool, but man, I got to go back and watch that type deal. I honestly don't recall what happens at the end of season 3. So I'm glad at least doing a rewatch of season 1, so maybe it'll prompt another season 2 or season 3 later on.
Fascinating. Yeah, this is it's a fascinating show with a lot of really great stuff in it that I'm excited to see where it goes, especially since I'm so early in it. That there's, it's that the same vibe as when you start a new video game and you're like, I don't know what anything is, and I'm gonna just go look at shit. Same vibe. Feeling
I feel like we don't have as much to discuss in this because in the first 2 episodes, because like
It's
you're
still
right,
set up.
it is like it's all set up. But I have to ask, are y'all like me? Do you find that strange dude that with the thing? Do you think he's terrifying? Because he scares the shit out of. Yes, don't make the face.
He's so. The first time I
He's
watched
terrifying.
The first time I watched this show was right when I had just moved to San Antonio and I had bought a fairly large house and I lived alone in it. And I watched this, and by lived alone in it, I mean like I had an entire second story with just nothing in it. Okay, I had a living room with just like absolutely nothing in it. So I watched this in that house, and it was just me, and so everything would like echo throughout the house. And I finished. And there was no lights on in that part of the house. And I would just refuse to go in that part of the house after watching these episodes. Because that shit scared the motherfucking shit out of me. To see that, like now when I go back and watch it, I'm like, look at this goofy motherfucker. Look at someone get him like a Twinkie. So like, what's going on here? But there are some like very scary moments in the show.
Yeah, there's like scenes where I'm like, oh, he's not that scary. But then there's other scenes like the MRI tube.
The MRI tube was definitely,
I would have like dropped Tactical Noob if I was a psychic. There's no, like, that was so spooky. I hated it. I fucking hated
MRI
it.
tube was very, a lot.
Who leaves someone alone in an MRI tube? Who does that? Who leaves you?
It gets explained why. What happened? I also think the world's angriest boy is scarier than the. I don't want to refer to him as
no
his
chin.
name. Huh?
The no chin.
I don't know what that is.
I call him his code name is No Chin.
Yeah. I think the world's angriest boy is scarier than that guy. Wait till episode 3. You'll remember.
All right. I'll remember. Okay.
There's some shit where you're just like, what the fuck? Like, what is going on?
I don't know. No Chin scared the crap out of me in episode 2. I was like, get this bitch out of here.
Yeah.
Hate him.
The world's scariest boy has he's definitely a recurring character, I guess. He's not just in episode 2, Jesse. So you're right on the money there, thinking that was an important book.
It definitely seemed it. I was like, okay.
No Chin is definitely spooky though, if that's what we're gonna refer to him as for now. And he also just pops up in scenes, and he's just kind of just in the background. You're like, why the fuck are you here? The fuck is wrong with you, you fucking creepy person? Get out from underneath that goddamn rock. You're not even, what the fuck? And then David just stares at him. And you're like, stop fucking paying attention to him, David. He doesn't exist. Yeah. It's a lot.
You ignore him, he'll go away.
Yeah.
I don't know how you remembered so much when it's been 5 years since you've seen it too.
Because this show, I was a huge fan of this show when it came out. And also this shit was terrifying. Like I said, like I also watched it a lot because I watched the first 4 episodes, and then we did, I think, our first role play show. And so with everyone that was there in person, we watched like the first 4 episodes back to back to back to back. It was like me, Wheat, Sean, Aaron was there, Britt was there. It was a lot. I think Jeff was actually there as well. And Jeff absolutely hated the fucking No Chin guy. He refused.
Me and Jeff are like the same person.
Yeah,
you're like the same person.
Hated that
so
thing.
Like, yeah.
He absolutely
I can
hated
definitely
that thing.
see that.
Yeah. It's a very good show.
Burn it.
Yeah.
There's like some things where you're like, I don't like it. And there's other things where you're like, okay, there are monsters you encounter that you're afraid of them and you would run. And then there's monsters you encounter where you're like, I'm going to make my stand and like kill this thing. That's what I want to do.
Then there's this guy that's like,
yeah, terrifies me, but I also like want to take a baseball bat to him. Does that make sense?
Well, they,
Because it looks like he'd pop.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like he'd
Yeah.
he also
And
seems
even
like a
if I
tiny guy.
died, like I just want to take a nailed baseball bat to him. But like the Demogorgon, I would run.
Demogorgon, probably, yeah. Jesse,
The world's angriest boy, I would run.
yes, fuck the world's angriest boy. He's sitting down, Jesse.
I mean, okay, but every time we've seen him so far, he seems like a little tiny boy, and I just want to like.
He's not
it's
standing
funny.
in any of the things
I
that we've seen
get it.
so far. He's very tall.
No, I'm making my stand.
Yeah.
Jesse, so you're saying you would box No Chin too?
I mean, yeah. If I lived, here's the thing. Everything's contextual to me. If I lived in a world where there were like mutants and stuff, that would change how I thought about things.
Yeah.
Like now, if Jesse Cox today saw like that dude, I'd be like, oh hell no, I'm getting out of here. Because I don't know, that guy's got powers. I don't know anyone with powers. But if I lived in a world where everyone was a damn mutant half the time, I'd be like, let's take this guy out. Let's go.
Yeah.
The rules have changed. Yeah.
Cast your
no
fireball,
fool.
Pyro. Let's go.
Yeah. But this jet, like Earth One Jesse, nah, he'd run. He'd be like, "You think a man have no chin? Oh hell no!" He'd be like, "I'm out."
Earth One Bronze would fight him. I would be like, nah, I have to do it. I have to try for the good of humanity. I have to try to kill this. I guess that's why you're Joker. You have Joker energy and I have Batman energy. Because I would be like, no one should ever have to go through this again. I have to do my best to at least damage it, you know? Like, I don't want to live after seeing that in person. I don't want to.
You're totally
what
right.
existence am I going to have after that? Like, I might as well just fucking do this. No one else has to do it.
Yeah.
I would. That guy would show up, and I'd be like, "Oh, hey, I'm a friend. What's up, buddy? What's going on, pal?"
You got to hobble
would
around like
immediately
he
be like,
does with his little fucking alien arms.
No trouble here, buddy. Everything's okay. Yeah.
You know that clip that this is a deep cut. You know that clip that Paul Rudd always used to play when he'd go on Conan O'Brien, where the kid goes off the side of the mountain in the wheelchair, and then the thing stands up at the end. He reminds me of the thing standing up at the end and just kind of
do that like, ooh.
yeah. He's like, oh shit, what's going on? That's what he reminds me of.
So that's
now
one of my
I see him in
favorite
a funnier
all-time
light.
goofs.
I'm glad I've got, but yeah, World's the next two episodes. Next week will be very fun to talk about. Because I actually went and looked at a quick synopsis of what happens in those, and it'll be good. They explain a little bit more, they peel back the curtain a little bit more, and they also get more fucked up. So that's what you have to look forward to, Jesse. Is
I'm here for it.
More fucked up and potentially like scary episodes. I think the entirety of season 1 is pretty terrifying in that sense. They do a lot of the like flash cuts with No Chin, where he'll just like pop up in a random scene for a split second. A lot of stuff like the MRI, and a lot of stuff with the like frog drug device that they had in that room, whatever that drug was that they were doing. That happens a lot throughout the show. So that's what you got to look forward to. Any predictions, Jesse? Any hot takes on what you think is going to happen?
I think it's too early to say for sure.
Okay.
But I think that, again, because they are going the route of you don't know what's real, like with all stories like that, I have to believe there's only two options. One, all the characters we've met so far are in his head, and this is all like bullshit. Or two, this is like absolutely oh no, you're fine, and we'll get over this. You've been in the asylum thing, and we'll move on to like mutant adventures, which I don't think is what this show's gonna do. So I'm more inclined to imagine that we're gonna spend the rest of this season being like, are any of these people in his life real? And that's fine by me. So
okay,
I'm here for that.
Okay. Well, next week we'll discuss chapter 3 and chapter 4 of Legion. You can watch it on Hulu, and apparently now Disney Plus, I guess, in some select regions. I don't know if that is
Not here in the
everywhere in the
States, at
U.S.
least.
or yeah, I guess it's Europe
I
or
can't see
something.
it.
Yeah. That's that. And then we're kind of just counting the days till Moon Knight comes out on the 30th of this month. There's only 10 episodes, or sorry, only 8 episodes of this show in season 1. So we'll finish all 8, and then the next episode after that, we will be discussing Moon Knight.
Hell yes.
So very, very good stuff. Let's do some shout outs and call it a stream. Bronze, thanks for putting together a headphone and webcam situation. You're back home next week, right?
Oh God, I hope so. If I'm not, something has gone terribly wrong.
Okay. All right. Noted. Do some shout outs. Where can people check you out?
Hi, hello. I'm that bronze girl. You can catch me on my channel most of the time. I'm not at home right now, but I should be streaming tomorrow night for my weekly D&D game, and the thing I'm working on down here, hopefully you'll see in the next few months. So make sure you follow me on Twitter and Instagram and I guess TikTok now. I don't know. To see what I'm up to and see all the things. I've been weaving stories. You know, you heard about all those MCU films that are shooting. Try to guess which one I'm in.
Okay. All
It's
right.
just kidding. That's not real. But, you know.
Is it though? Is it real?
Yeah, is it though?
Is it?
What is real?
Jesse, do some shout outs. Tell us what's real.
I don't know.
No! No! I would rather have a loose
That's really hard to do.
dab
That hurt.
than that.
That hurts your neck. Ow. That
Yo,
guy
Jesse,
must have very.
That's real cool, bro.
That's so cool. Thanks. Thanks, Luke Cage. Anyway, hi. Boy, oh boy. The only thing you need to know is that this Friday, the master of disaster himself, the Octo Day Pimp, and I are going to begin a co-op run of Elden Ring.
Oh, nice.
All co-op all the time. We are going to walk the entire way, and I'm going to figure out what the hell the story of this game is.
Oh, good
so
luck.
help me God.
You're gonna have to play a while, like 70 hours.
That's fine. I'm gonna figure out what the hell's happening. I already have a theory. That last boss, I got theories.
Oh, I haven't seen the last boss of the game, so don't spoil.
I won't.
Okay.
I'm not gonna spoil nothing. I'm just saying I got some theories about what the hell this game is. So
Okay.
I want to confirm them with the awesome power of doing everything. So that's our adventure. And we'll start that on Friday. So get ready to watch I guess I want to make a prophet named Coxtradamus. And I'm going to attempt to figure out what the hell this game's about. Very excited.
Fantastic. Do you have a show called Hard Cocks? I feel like you should just really lay
Hard
into
Cocks?
this. Yeah, just lay into this last name of yours and just
Can I
make
tell you something?
dick joke shows and just call it like Hard Cocks. And I don't know what you do in Hard Cocks.
You would think that is the optimal strategy for my life. Now, let me tell you what I've learned.
It's probably
from
not though
attempting
because
to
of
do-
algorithms.
Yeah, so I learned that algorithmically it's terrible, but also in doing things like CoxCon, a lot of advertisers were like, our bosses have issue with trying to like spend money on something that is like penis related, and I'm like, what do you mean? There's no dicks at all. Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah. I learned that the hard way.
I guess that's
Apparently.
true. Yeah.
Yeah. No one wants to spend money on dongs, which is a lie, by the way. But they don't want to be caught spending money on dongs. I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah, that's true. All right, that's it for the MCU Crew. What a way to wrap up the episode. We'll be back next week, episode 3, episode 4 of Legion, season 1. That's your homework. And then we'll see what else is going on in the MCU. I feel like we're getting ready. Like it's the calm before the storm. At least that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping we're going to start getting real crazy with the MCU news moving forward as we're getting closer to some big releases with Multiverse of Madness. And then we're supposed to get that trailer soon for Love and Thunder, right? Like that has to come out sometime.
I mean, come on, it has to.
Yeah, we're close. It's got to be sometime soon. So we'll react to that whenever it does. Until then, though, keep watching, keep supporting the show. We appreciate you guys, and we'll see you next week for more 1 p.m. Eastern every Monday. We're out of here. Bye-bye.